Well, we're here on the SS United States with a group from the SS United States Conservancy, and we're very proud that just a couple days after her 62nd anniversary of the maiden voyage, we're able to raise the United States house flag on the ship for the first time in decades, probably for the first time since she was decommissioned back in 1969. So we're very happy to be here, and we're very proud that we were able to return this flag to its rightful home. The flag was donated by Hector Aponte, and he is the gentleman who has started the Conservancy for Pier 54 in Manhattan, which is the former Cunard White Star Pier. Doesn't have a connection to this ship, but in order to save the SS United States, we really need cooperation from everyone in the ocean liner community, and that's what this donation was all about.
Hector Luis Aponte wrote the following regarding its designer and this ship. Since he was 8 years old, William Francis Gibbs had a dream of building an American superliner that would zip across the North Atlantic. In 1952, his dream became reality. On July 3rd, 1952, the SS United States, nicknamed the Big U, broke Cunard White Star's RMS Queen Mary's 14th year undefeated streak as the fastest ocean liner, and she was awarded the Blue Ribbon, both westbound and eastbound. This record still stands today. She sailed for 17 years and attracted Hollywood movie stars, U.S. presidents, and other world leaders. She was and is a pop culture icon. We've lost a lot of great ocean liners in the past century. Liners such as Olympic, Titanic, Britannic, and RMS Majestic of the White Star Line, Lusitania, Mauretania, Aquitania, and Queen Elizabeth of the Cunard Line, and even the United States Line's very own SS Leviathan and SS America. Let's work together so that the legacy and story of this ship can continue to be told for generations to come. Thank you, Hector.
My name is Stephen Ujifusa, and I'm on board the SS United States on the 62nd anniversary of her maiden voyage eastbound from New York to Le Havre, France, and Southampton, England. And I'm reading a section of A Man and His Ship, which was written 2 years ago, published by Simon & Schuster. And I'm going to read the conclusion of the chapter, A Very Fast Lady, which is about her arrival, her triumphant arrival after breaking the transatlantic speed record in July of 1952. At 12:46 p.m. the next day, the United States passed through the Le Havre breakwater for the 2-hour cross-channel trip to Southampton. The journey across the channel was made on a beautiful sunlit day, Matthew Forrest wrote. There was a brisk wind blowing too much for the dressing of the ship with the ICS code flags. We crossed at a good rate of speed, possibly to give all the shoreside visitors who had not crossed with us a little idea of what the big ship could do. When the United States passed the Nab Lighthouse and entered Southampton water, Forrest, along with others standing at the rail, were amazed by one of the greatest collections of small craft I have ever seen. Sailing yachts, power cruisers, excursion boats, and even outboards. All were crowded to the gunwales with people, all gaily decorated with flags and blowing their horns and whistles for all they were worth. As the liner approached, streamers of confetti flew out of the windows of the ocean liner terminal, as thousands of people lined the docks. The people of England, who had produced the great ships that inspired young Gibbs, stood in awe at the spectacular new American masterpiece. George Horne cabled his account of the reception of the great vessel's arrival in Southampton to the New York Times. This is a port that loves ships, and England is a nation that loves them, he wrote. The people, sometimes considered reserved in their public demonstrations, dropped their barriers and let everything go. Along the Solent, along the Hampshire countryside, along the beaches, on the crowded piers, and open green fields, masses of people were standing to say to the United States, "Welcome, welcome." Telegrams flooded into the radio room. Prime Minister Winston Churchill cabled the United States, "Congratulations on your wonderful achievement." Gracious in defeat, Captain Grattidge of the Queen Mary wrote Manning, "Godspeed, welcome to the Atlantic. I'm sacking my chief engineer." Manning wrote back, "I've got more speed up my sleeve. We were just cruising." As the ship moved into her dock and the Southampton longshoremen secured her lines, those watching from the deck of the United States were surprised by the warmth of the British reception, especially after their Queen Mary had just given up the Blue Ribband. Not only that, the Mary's running mate, Queen Elizabeth, had to leave a day early ahead of schedule to make room for the United States. As we approached, Forrest wrote, we could see the various levels covered with people. They had even arranged for them to be on the roof of the 1,500-foot-long building. There was a big banner which said "Welcome," and another one which said "Good luck to the new ship." James Black, a Scotsman who worked in the Gibbs & Cox model shop, stepped out on the forward hatch, carrying a set of bagpipes under his arm. At this sight, Forrest said, those on the dock burst into cheers. The band on the dock played, the ship's orchestra on the promenade deck played, and the piper played, and everyone cheered. And so it was quite a noise that greeted the United States. At this, the greatest moment in his life, William Francis Gibbs faced the newsreel cameras. "It's a great pleasure to be here this morning on this ship," he told the world. "And it gives me also a feeling of humility in having the responsibility of the hopes and aspirations of my fellow citizens that have been embodied in this ship." For the failed lawyer from Philadelphia, now heralded as America's greatest naval architect, the moment couldn't have been sweeter. As he stood on the bridge of the finest ship in the world, William Francis Gibbs looked down at the cheering British crowds in the docks below. He then turned to look at the decks of the ship and saw hundreds of wildly waving passengers and crew. Finally, he looked up at the massive red, white, and blue funnels that towered over him, and then at the stars and stripes that flooded from the radar mast. On July 8, 1952, this reserved, introverted, and driven man could now proudly wave his hat to the cheering crowds and bask in the glory that was rightly his.
I'm Jordan Morris. I'm the Southeastern Chair of the SS United States Conservancy. Here on the SS United States, the 62nd anniversary of her maiden voyage, and I wrote the following piece truly from the bottom of my heart. The SS United States has loomed from the water since 1952. It has seen the hope and glory of its namesake country and also its sadness and defeat. She is still with us, steadfast and determined, a symbol of America at her peak and a reminder of what we are capable of. It is as if this ship is living out a purpose beyond her natural capacity. This purpose, this higher calling, gives the SS United States the strength to stand when it should fall, to endure when it should crumble, to trust when it should give up. And may we continuously strive to be like this old ship. God save the SS United States.